People think baking is complicated, but I'm here to tell you it's actually simple. In the Cooks Illustrated Test Kitchen, we make recipes so that they work and we make them simple. Perfect example are these dinner rolls. People want to have homemade dinner rolls for big holidays and they think, oh, I can't possibly do it. So we re-engineered the recipe so you actually make the rolls 2 days in advance. You put them in a cake pan like this and they rise very slowly in the refrigerator. When you want to bake them, you take them out of the refrigerator, you brush them with just a little bit of melted butter, and then they go into a hot oven for 15 minutes. And it's just so simple. And they actually, besides being simpler, taste better. The longer the yeast can do its work in the refrigerator, the more flavor that gets developed. And so these will have a fabulous aroma and be the best homemade rolls you've ever tasted. And if you're worried about yeast, let me tell you, it's really simple. Old-fashioned recipes, you might have had to proof the yeast in warm water. Modern recipes, we love rapid rise yeast in the test kitchen. You simply open the envelope and add it directly to the dough. So you don't need to proof it first. It's ready to go. It's absolutely doable. Anybody can make great rolls.
And anybody can make the perfect pecan pie, which can sometimes be a little bit too sweet or a little bit of a grainy texture. But the key to cutting that sweetness, believe it or not, is using corn syrup instead of granulated sugar in the recipe, because it's actually less sweet than granulated sugar, cup for cup, and it already has that silky texture. It's not granular, so it's perfect. And then the other key is to not overbake the pecan pie, because if you do, you get that overcooked rim. So we started on the stovetop in a double boiler, just a simple bowl over simmering water. Cook it for about 10 minutes until it's 130 degrees, and then pop it in the oven. Of course, it goes into a pie shell with pecans. Goes into a nice low oven, 275 for another hour, and it's the perfect pie.
Now, there are a few other things here on the table. You can't do a baking book and not put in a chocolate chip cookie recipe. And we have our ultimate chocolate chip cookies here on the table. The secret is, I hate the old-fashioned recipes that call for waiting to soften the butter on the counter. You've got to, you want to make the cookies and you have to wait an hour. So we ended up melting the butter in the test kitchen, and then we cooked it a little bit longer and actually browned the butter. Not only is it simpler, but you get all these great nutty aromas from the browned butter, and those are the chewiest, best chocolate chip cookies.
I definitely agree, and this is the best banana bread too, because we packed 6 bananas in there, but it's not dense and heavy, and the key is microwaving the bananas. You microwave them, they give off a lot of that liquid, and then we simmer that liquid down until it's almost a banana extract, and that goes back into the bread.
And the last thing here on the table are sticky buns. This is actually the recipe that's on the cover of the book. And if you want to make a project that really is going to wow everybody, these sticky buns, the nuts go on top. When they're folded inside the buns, they can get very soggy. And so we actually make a separate topping, has a sort of luscious, syrupy consistency from corn syrup, toasted nuts that you spoon over the finished buns right before you serve them. A great way to start any day.